And away we go. It is the Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken, right here on BearcatJournal.com, www.galacticfriedchicken.com. Go to the website. They will deliver right to your front door, pretty much anywhere inside the 275 loop, or head down to Dayton, Kentucky. Tell them to pump it up and save yourself 15% off of the Galactic goodness. Get you some tendies, get you some dunkers, some fried chicken, some coleslaw, crinkle fries, fried pickles, all that good stuff. Galactic Fried Chicken. It is out of this world. All right, Aaron. Let's get. Oh, what are we doing? I'm backwards. I felt naked over there.
It was still there from last night.
I know. I freaked out a little bit. Big 12 Thursday, even though I know you want to talk more about the 14-team playoff. We will.
There's not much. The only thing that changed today, and I'm sure we'll get into it more on Monday with Brent and the boys. I think that's a good topic to discuss with Ryan, especially, and see what his thoughts are. But the SEC and the Big Ten are just pushing for each conference to have an automatic bye and be the only teams that get buys in this new playoff.
No matter what happens, even if they're third and fourth, they would get the 1 and 2 seed and get buys under the what was discussed today. And you know why they're doing that is because the NCAA has given them the power, and they have looked at the NCAA and said, "You do what we want, or we're leaving."
They've put the NCAA over a barrel.
Yeah, they put baby in a corner.
Again, this all goes back to if you were just for once in your entire life proactive instead of reactive, you wouldn't be dealing with literally any of this. NIL, and I mean, you would have had it, but it would have been on your terms and conditions, not on everyone else's. You did this to yourself. You screwed the whole sport.
Now, the only way to stay solvent is to make the Big Ten and the SEC happy, and that means they're going to push you around and get whatever they want because that is their job. You can't blame. I mean, as mad as you want to get at the Big Ten and the SEC, it is their job to do what is in the best interest of their conference. So if you give them all of the bully power, you have to expect them to bully you. No crap. All right, let's get to Big 12 Thursday, Aaron.
Let's.
A very interesting week in Big 12 action, as it usually is. It was not chalk, as we had gotten accustomed to over a week and a half, 2-week stretch. This week, much different. Start on Monday night. TCU coming off the big win over Cincinnati. Cannot get anything going offensively. Baylor keeps them out of transition. Kind of grinds them down a little bit in the half court and wins a big road game. Baylor 62, TCU 54. Yvonne Missy, who I think scored 2 points in their loss in the previous game, this time scores 16. And TCU gets 11 from Jameer Nelson, including maybe the dunk of the year in the Big 12. But that is not enough. Oh, he came down. That was offensive rebound. It kicked it out to him at the 3-point line. And he went up on Missy and dunked on Missy. A 6'1" guard dunked on a 6'11" shot blocker. It was impressive. But Baylor gets the win, moves to 9-6 in conference play. And TCU falls to 8-7 there.
Yeah, they've been not great during conference play, truthfully. I mean,
they've been very up and down, like very hot and cold.
They came.
What's it come down to? The teams that let them run up and down in transition, they win, and if you grind them to a halt, they lose.
It's been, I don't know, not as they sit at 19-9 for the season. Just not an impressive conference run for TCU.
Yeah, I don't know that I would go that far. I think they're right mid. On the other side. Well, I mean, would you call Baylor mid, Aaron?
Probably not.
Okay, Baylor's 1 game ahead of them in the conference standings. So,
Well,
I mean, yes, that is kind of how fine the line is in this conference. But if TCU wins that game, they're 9-6, and Baylor's 8-7, and I don't think we'd be calling Baylor mid. So I don't want to undermine TCU other than to say that they've been a little more hot and cold than I thought they would be. And a lot of that, like I said, is the teams that have been able to keep them out of transition have been able to slow their offense down. If you let them run, you're in trouble. Interesting game in Manhattan as
overtime.
Kansas State was up 25 in the second half, early in the second half. They lose the second half 53-31, and the game goes to overtime. And maybe one of the most incredible coaching statistics of all time, Aaron. In his first season and 1.9 seasons, Jerome Tang is a 12-0 in overtime, 7-0 in overtime this season. In a season where they are teetering, right? Like, they're kind of on the wrong side of the bubble. They've won 7 overtime games. That's crazy. Wild.
In this one, you had Kirk Risa and Raekwon Battle combined for 53 points. They also went 18 of 40 between the two of them. I would kill to have 2 players shoot 18 of 40. They also went 11 of 21 from 3. Again, same thing. Might actually kill somebody higher up than I would for the 18 of 40, but to go for 11 of 21, my goodness. For the team to be 11 of 21 would be impressive, much less 2 players. Still was not enough as they were thwarted, led by Tyler Perry and his 29 points. Just a crazy game. Two teams that not this season known for their offense, either of them.
Yeah.
West Virginia not really known for anything this year outside of Huggins. And that's not what you want to be known for.
I think I saw TCU, or not TCU, but I think I saw Kansas State hit 7 of 8 threes to close the first half. That's what gave them that huge lead. And they were, Aaron, you would have lost your damn mind watching them at the end of the first half because it was IDGAF. They were coming down, 1 pass, 3. Coming down, 1 dribble, one dribble off a ball screen, 3. They were so hot, they didn't give a damn. Shot clock, time, situation. We're not running offense. I don't care if I've got anybody to rebound. We're just throwing it in the ocean. Whack, whack, whack.
Well, depending on which team I was rooting for in that one, that might depend on how I lost my mind, I suppose.
Well, the crazy thing was, then guess what happened? They didn't hit any threes in the second half, and it ended up in overtime. That's the problem when a team that's not good offensively that goes hot and cold in the same game.
A tale of two halves.
Yeah, Tuesday, as we know, Cincinnati fell 67-59 at Houston. I don't know, this might not even be the biggest surprise of the week, but BYU 76-68 at Kansas. Kansas had been able, at least at home, to hide the loss of Kevin McCullough. That did not happen on Tuesday night. They could not get really anything flowing consistently offensively. BYU could, and that was I believe the first home loss in conference play for Kansas.
Well, if Kansas's point guard is not injured, I guarantee you he doesn't go 1 of 9 from the floor, 1 of 6 from behind the arc, and finish with 9 points and 1 assist. That just doesn't happen if McCullough's healthy.
Well, McCullough doesn't play point guard, but Timberlake is the one. Shooting guard is what you mean.
Sorry,
Timberlake's the one that filled in for McCullough.
Yeah, Harris, the one Harris plays.
Harris is their point guard. But yeah, Timberlake scored 9 points, 6 of those 9 from the free throw line. He hit 1 3. There is a reason he struggled to get off the bench most of this season.
Right.
It's because he's not good, and McCullough is really, really good.
Also in that one, though, always worth pointing out, Trevin Nell doesn't do anything. 2 of 7 from the floor, 1 of 5 from 3, and has 7 points. I hate
What
him.
are you going to do when UC plays them in the Big 12 tournament and he hits 8 threes?
If they play UC in the tournament and he hits 8 threes, I'll shave my head. I will go back to having short hair.
Oh boy. Maybe the bigger surprise of the week, Texas goes into Texas Tech and dominates Texas Tech for most of this game. Texas Tech did make a little bit of a run to get it respectable, but Texas Tech was up 24 at halftime, 47-23, and they hang on and win 81-69. A little bit of an ugly incident where a guy from Texas just cross body checked,
lowered his shoulder, and boom.
The best part was he did that. The ball is loose. The guy, what do you mean? Foul? You called a foul on me?
I'm surprised he could raise his arm up and didn't have a broken collarbone in order to do that. I've broken my collarbone. It's not easy to raise your arm up at all. And for him just so quickly, what do you
mean?
Again.
What did I do? You can't be serious. You called that on me? Oh boy. But yeah, that's Texas Tech Texas Tech gets dominated at home. Only their second home loss of the season. Dylan Disu 21-6. And that one was ugly from the start. We were doing the BCJ pod last night, and I turned it on, and I was like,
maybe the biggest news of this game, though, is the fact that Pop Isaacs might be back. It did take him 18 shots to get 17 points.
I think at one point he was 2 for 10. So probably not.
it did take him 18 shots to get 17 points as he finishes 5 of 18, 2 of 8 from 3. So we'll see. Maybe it's something to build on for him. It's got to be, I would think, confidence, even in a loss.
Yeah. Iowa State at home against Oklahoma, 58-45. Iowa State scored 25 points in the first half. Oklahoma did not score more than 25 in either half. They scored 20 in the first half, 25 in the second. And Iowa State's defense just decimated the Sooners.
Oklahoma did not have a player score double digits, not a single player. Although the only 2 for Iowa State that scored double digits came off their bench. So make of that what you will. No starter for Iowa State had more than 8.
I mean, Mick Cronin was sitting at home in Los Angeles smiling ear to ear watching that game. He's never been more happy watching a basketball game that he didn't coach in his entire life.
I think he stopped it and then rewatched it for fun.
Iowa State scored 58 and won by 13. Like,
as he's doing that, he literally has a rock in his hand, just passing it back and forth, right?
He's texting TJ Otzelberger all throughout the game. I love you, man. Dude, sweet. That was the most Mick Cronin game that's ever existed. And then kudos to the Knights of Gold. They go to Stillwater and take down Oklahoma State 77-71. UCF now sitting at 6-9 in Big 12 play. Like, they're not going to get in the tournament, but you have to give them credit that for the most part, they have been able to grind out some of those wins that Cincinnati hasn't been able to.
The crazy thing that I saw on Twitter this week after this game, you have UCF fans clamoring for an extension for Johnny Dawkins. And it seems a stark contrast to what's been going on social media in the Queen City.
I mean, this is where you have to give UCF. They had lost 6 of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They had lost 6 of 7 coming into the past week. And then they win at home against Texas Tech, 75-61. And then they beat Oklahoma State, 77-71. So they were in that mental grind that this league puts you in. And they were on their heels. And they easily could have packed it in. Kudos to his team for picking themselves up off the mat, getting that win over Texas Tech, and turning that into a win on the road at Oklahoma State. So I think Johnny Dawkins is a decent coach. I think that's a really tough situation to win there. If you want to extend him, go ahead. I don't know.
I don't know that anyone's clamoring for Johnny Dawkins anywhere else, but
but you got to give him credit. Let's quickly run down the Saturday slate. The number 1 game of the weekend for the Big 12, Kansas at Baylor. I still think it's unlikely we see Kevin McCullough the rest of the regular season.
I agree.
Baylor coming off a big win at TCU. Boy, they could really start to feel pretty good about themselves down the stretch if they can take out Kansas at home.
ESPN's given Baylor 71% chance to win this one at home. I'm with ESPN. I think Baylor gets this one, and I don't think it's particularly close.
Oklahoma State at Texas. Texas just had their up, right? If this was at Oklahoma State, I would feel pretty confident about an Oklahoma State win. At Texas, but Texas hasn't been great at home. I think they've lost 4. I think they've lost 4 home games in Big 12 play. I feel the potential for an upset in my bones here.
Oklahoma State is given 10% on the nose, 10% to win this one. I think that the money is going to be worth it if you have an extra unit to place on a team to upset. I would think that this might not be the worst place that you could put that money.
I wouldn't put a lot, but what we've seen from Texas is they'll have a great win. They'll dominate Texas Tech, and then the next game they'll show up and provide a what was that result.
I'd imagine the money line should be fun on this one.
Well, I also imagine Oklahoma State's pretty pissed off. Like, they were playing well, and then, they get smacked by UCF on their home floor. So Iowa State at UCF. I can't imagine UCF has enough offense to win this game. But it's going to be ugly. It's going to be a rock fight.
Yeah. ESPN says 31% for UCF. I think that it's probably less than that myself. But yeah, I don't know that it's going to be. It's probably going to be a 3-possession game at the end, and we'll see what happens because I don't think either team has a great offense.
Iowa State's is clearly better than UCF's, but
some nights UCF's also done some crazy shit.
Yeah. Texas Tech at West Virginia. Texas Tech is limping right now. You would think this is them having a chance to feel good and get back on track against West Virginia, but hell if I know.
They're heavy favorites, and I'm with you. I think this one might have an upset written on it, as things are weird, and that game feels very weird to me.
Kansas State at Cincinnati. Houston traveling to Oklahoma. Boy, that's, again, anytime you get that Iowa State-Houston double, you're hating life. You can't feel good about where you're at. Oklahoma scored 45 against Iowa State. Did they break 50 against Houston, Aaron?
I don't care. Put Oklahoma in a body bag, Houston. Do everything you can to send them reeling and hopefully a knockout blow so that we're just dancing with their corpse.
And then for me, probably the number 2 game of the weekend after Kansas Baylor is TCU at BYU. TCU licking their wounds, BYU feeling great. This one's going to be up and down, you would think. I think I like BYU at home.
BYU 75.6% according to ESPN. Don't feel good. I know I just got done calling TCU mid, but I don't think BYU is much better than TCU either. I think that they've been chronically overrated the entire season, and
you just hate Tevin now.
Yes, I was just getting ready to say that was my last point and Trevin Knell is the worst. So yeah, go ahead and do your thing, TCU.
I might send you to Kansas City for the Big 12 tournament just to ask Trevin Knell questions.
If he was the one on the podium.
Oh no, you get open locker rooms, I think, at conference tournaments. So
he
you
would
can go.
Me. What? Why is this guy from Cincinnati verbally assaulting me without saying anything?
Have you made 8 threes since that Cincinnati game, Trevin?
In practice.
All right, that's going to wrap it up. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. I should be here Saturday night for the recap as the Bearcats take on Kansas State, 7 p.m., Fifth Third Arena. We'll see you there. That is the nightcap brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya!